Hey guys, and welcome to the Lazy Lemon Creations podcast. My name is Lindsay. You can find me on Instagram as Lazy Lemon Creations, and you can find me on Ravelry as Lazy Lemon. This is my podcast all about my crafting, which today it is knitting and crochet. And you can support my podcast if you would like to by following the Ko-Fi, which is linked down below, along with any pages and websites that I happen to have purchased something from or want to have linked below, such as Ravelry project pages. All of that will be in the description down below that you can just click on and it'll take you right there. So let's jump in. It has been 15 days, 16 days, something like that since I last podcasted. 16 days. So a little over 2 weeks. Life got really bad. Not for me personally, just general life had gotten really bad for a little bit there, so I had to intentionally step back, but I'm here and let's jump into it. I live in the heart of the New River Valley with my husband and our 2 kids. The kids are upstairs sleeping. Well, hopefully sleeping. They're supposed to be asleep. It's 9:30 at night. They've been in bed for an hour, so they shouldn't be awake. And my husband's at work tonight, so I decided that it's a Monday. Let's go ahead, let's get this recorded. And then tomorrow, while my son is in preschool and my daughter is in 1st grade, I can edit this and throw it up on the YouTube channel. So, I think that's everything with my intro, I believe. I really had to write out my notes and I used almost 2 pages of front and back, so it's gonna be a doozy today. First, let's jump into my FOs. Bum ba da bum. Look at them. I'm just gonna hold it right there. Pretty. Cha-ching. So, last time it was a whip and I was right here. That is my book Progress Keeper from Twin Mountain Handcrafts. I was right there on the last episode of the first sock, and since then I have finished the first sock and completed the second sock. They do not match. They're off by 1 stripe. Yeah, they're off by 1 stripe, which does not bother me in the slightest. You can see right there. They're off by 1 stripe. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. This is Knit Picks Felici in the colorway Vegas Baby. I do 64 stitches on Chalgu Red Lace Magic Loop 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle. I say that every single time. I do a 2x2 20 row cuff, 30 row leg, heel flap and gusset, foot, and a toe. So those socks are done. I had started those on March 31st and I had finished those on April 16th. So, and they were just for me. So they're my size and I like them and I wanted to show you guys some socks on the blockers. So that is my one and only FO for today's episode. Next, let's jump in some whips. The first whip I have here is a bag from Ginger Snap Fibers. It is my Fries Before Guys. It was the Valentine's Day bag, but it doesn't look like a Valentine's Day bag, so I'm using it for as much as I want to. And inside, the yarn that I'm using is from Yarn Cafe Creations. I love her coffee sleeve labels. And it is the Warm Sangria Cider in her Biscotti DK, which is an 85-15. And this is what it looks like. Oh, it's so pretty. Lots of blues, purples, and yellows all mixed together. A little bit of green in there, which will naturally happen with blue and yellow. But I am making a muscle burrow. I'm making this for a child. I don't have the size written down. I have the pattern memorized, so I don't have the size written down. But I'm on the right size to be worn for probably a good 2.5 years. The kid is 4. So I've got it to where the kid can enjoy it definitely this upcoming winter, and then probably the winter after, because everyone knows how versatile a muscle burrow is. And so I wanted to knit a good enough size to where she can wear it now and she can wear it later. I am knitting these on a ChowGoo 16-inch red lace cable, but it is a size 6, which is a 4 millimeter needle. Next time I'm just gonna hold up the label like this. I'm just gonna show the ChowGoo label because I keep messing up. But this is living in my Ginger Snap Fibers bag. That is a whip that I have going on right now. It is a travel whip because it is a muscle burrow. It is vanilla knitting now. I am past the increases. So it goes with me wherever I go if I want it to, and just it gets knit on whenever I can. It's not a priority or anything like that. Speaking of, hold on, let's go back into it. It does not have a stitch marker. I have a stitch marker. I'm gonna put it on the hat and then I will show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so I have the stitch marker placed on the hat. This is also by Twin Mountain Handcrafts, and it is just a little heart. So yeah, now I can show you guys progress on that the next time I podcast, which hopefully will be more frequent than 2 weeks. When we get to life, you will understand why I had to take some time off. But the next whip that I have is actually a custom order that I need to get a work on, but I've got some time. It's okay. It is in a bag from Kelly E. McD. Look at this bag. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is flowers, but it looks like a watercolor painting. Like, I'm in love with it so much. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's just girly enough. I'm not a huge girly girl fan. I'm not into rainbows, unicorns, and butterflies. Actually, I am into rainbows. Like a good neon rainbow yarn, absolutely wonderful. But yeah. I like that. It's a very nice bag. I am using, for this pair of socks, I am using Leading Men Fiber Arts and their Show Stealer colorway Vengeance. It's a fingering weight yarn, and as I drop it, this is the color. Look, super deep purple. It is truly purple. I would describe this as a chocolate purple. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but that's how I would describe it, as a chocolate purple. To its hues, it's a gray undertone, I would assume. I don't know. I don't dye the yarn. I don't know the things. But yes, and it is a pair of socks on my needles, all wrapped up and discombobulated. So I have the cuff done and some of the leg. Not all of the leg, just some of the leg. And so this is what I have of the sock. I'm knitting it on ChowGoo Red Lace Magic Loop needles, size 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter. I don't know, that word just sounds weird to me. Millimeter. I don't know. I am going to put an open book stitch marker on this sock. So give me just a second. There we go. Ah! Totally missed. So I put a book right there so we can see my progress the next time I podcast. The same with the muscle burrow. This is the first part of it. I do not have another sock done on it. I hopefully will have those done by the middle of May. They don't have a specific they don't have a specific due date, but I want to get them finished sooner rather than later. So They will probably be done before the muscle burrow, because that's just how my brain works. What is next? Okay, next is my crochet that I have. During the last podcast, I had mentioned the Red Heart Super Saver in the granny stripe. Let me show you the yarn. Here it is. The Red Heart Super Saver in the granny stripe. This one is just pink punch. Yeah. It's got a lot of colors into it, but it's absolutely beautiful. And what I'm making with it, look at that. Oh, it is so pretty. Like, if that's not every little girl's dream bedroom in the 90s, I don't know what is. But I am crocheting with it a corner to corner blanket for a little girl. She loves rainbows, and she also likes splatter paint too, so I'm kind of hoping this kind of gives the splatter vibes. I was going to do it in a granny stripe, but I don't like joining granny squares, so then I thought about doing just a big granny square blanket, and then I was like, no, I don't want to do that either. I want to do corner to corner. It's my favorite type of crochet, so that's what I'm doing. I am using a Susan Bates USH 8, which is a 5mm hook. I don't know if that's going to show up at all. That's what it looks like. Maybe I can zoom in with my editing skills. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, that's my Susan Bates hook, I should say. And this is all I have done on it, just into the pink. I'm about to start the white. I'm not even going to put a progress keeper on it because it is not my focus right now. My focus instead is this blanket that has a start date that I don't remember. I had started this whip years ago, probably 2 years ago, maybe last year. If I'm lucky, I started it last year, but probably 2 years ago. And I had made a blanket for somebody and had tons of yarn left over, so I was going to make a second blanket. And then my sister at Christmas announced that she was pregnant. So I had a boy baby blanket that I was working on and a girl baby blanket, this one, that I was working on, that I was just like, you know what? No matter what she says, I've got one in the works. Whatever she says goes. And then when she found out that it was a girl, I pulled this one out of long-term hibernation and started working on it. So my start date for this blanket, I put in January, even though I really don't know, okay? And it's not that important either. It's a gift, so it doesn't matter. But I know a lot of people like to find out how long things take. But this blanket is for my sister, who is having my niece in July. I am so excited. I thought I heard the kids make a noise. So I'm going to show you guys what this blanket looks like and then explain some of the funkiness. So here we go. So it starts here. This is where I started it, is in this corner right up here. And then hopefully you guys can see the bottom. I'm not sure. Can you see the bottom? Now you can, because I can see you. And then it goes across. And it keeps going across. And keeps going across. And then I've got this new row started. So what I had originally done, and I posted about it on Instagram, was I had originally done 7 rows across the top here. But I didn't like it because each of these individual color blocks is an 8x8. And it was bothering me because I like even numbers. And so I was just like, I made a post on Instagram, a poll actually, and was like, should I just extend it out and make it an 8x8? And the majority was like, yes, do that. So I did. I went ahead and added this square today to make it an 8x8. And then I'm going to take the stitch markers out after I show you the squares, each time I show you this blanket, I will show the new squares that I have worked on since this podcast episode. But this will be one that you have already seen, is this light pink one. And then all the ends are woven in, except for this pink one that I just did today. But like, as you go down through the rest of the blanket, all the ends are woven in until you get to the very bottom. The only reason why this one isn't is so that I know that this was my first square that I did. So that's why this end isn't woven in. It's to show me that that was my very first square. So if I turn the blanket upside down, I guess, I have the blanket backwards. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't show blankets, and this is clearly why, because I don't know how to move them. So I did, there's a stitch marker, I did that square, and that square, and that square, this square, and then I did these 3 squares today. Yeah, so I did 4 yesterday, and I did these 3 squares today along with this extra one. So I did 4 squares yesterday and 4 squares today. And I don't have the ends woven in because I'm waiting until I have a corner, a 4x4, just like Lisa, 72 Stitches, when she is making her Coziest Memories blanket. She waits until she has all 4 corners connected, and then she weaves in her ends. I do the same thing, but this is just with crochet. So let me take out those 4 stitch markers. I was using black because I thought black would show up on the pink very, very well, but it doesn't. So, whoops. I don't know how else I'm going to show you. You know what? I don't care, and I will just show you guys that it does have a stitch marker in it, and you can just take my word for it. But let's go over the colors that are in this blanket and the yarn that I am using. I am using I Love This yarn. Purchased at Hobby Lobby a while ago too. Like I said, it's been years. It even tells me to use an H millimeter. Oh, that's for knitting, but I'm crocheting. I don't care. It is, ooh, 199 grams. Is that per ball? Ooh, I'm gonna be in trouble. Okay, so the colors. The colors of this blanket are, okay, hot rose, pink, white. That's it. So the darkest pink is hot rose, the lightest pink is pink, and the white is white. So, sorry about that, guys. Had a moment of parenting that I needed to attend to, but I only have 5 completed columns, I guess you would say, for the blanket, and I have to fill in this row all the way down to make it fit as well. So I'll be working on it for a little bit longer, and the bag that it is in is a crochet or knit bag, but I use it for crochet, that I got off of Amazon. I will insert a picture here so you can see what the bag looks like. It is too big to lift up. I was able to bring the blanket over because I had just finished a square, and so it was detached from the project bag, but I will show you a picture of the project bag and then have it linked down below because I got it off of Amazon. So next on the list is life stuff, reading and watching and life. So let's jump into that. For reading, I have finished book 2 of the Lightbringer, which was The Blinding Knife, and I have yet to start book 3. I want to start that tonight, depending on just how my mental space is. I do like reading at nighttime, but since I purchased these books to also have on my Kindle and also have the physical copy of, because that's just the type of book person I am, I read a lot more frequent on my Kindle during the day because of the stand that I have for my Kindle. I can prop it up. in my chair with me while I'm knitting or crocheting, and I can read and knit at the same time. Crocheting's a little bit harder just because of the way I hold my hands and stuff like that, but I can do it, and I will. And then watching TV. I have needed to just fall into background noise and nostalgia, so I have been watching Harry Potter, all 8 films, and the US version of The Office. It is a comfort show, and it is just something that I have needed. I have needed something that I don't need to pay attention to, and it's funny too. It is. It's stupid humor, and it gets me every single time. It's a show that my husband introduced to me. I didn't watch it nor like it before watching it with him, and it takes a lot to get past that first season, but then you do, and it's a great show. So that's been on the TV here recently. My husband's been playing his video games. He's also been watching Harry Potter and The Office with me as well. And then, of course, the kids, who have the TV anytime that they can, and it kills me, but it's getting ready to be summer, so we're getting ready to spend a lot of time outdoors, and our cold days are slowly leaving us behind, so I'm excited for that. Life stuff. The reason why I have needed my comfort shows, and I haven't been knitting and crocheting the way I've wanted to, or filming this podcast when I said I was, is that we had a death on my side of the family, and I alone went to the funeral. I left the husband and kids here, but I had to travel back to West Virginia for that, and it was a bit. It was emotional, and just something that I couldn't knit or crochet while there because I was the driver, so I couldn't do that. And then while there, I was trying to help out as much as possible, so I didn't have free time to sit down or anything like that. And then while I will knit in church, and I will knit at the movies, I have yet to knit at a funeral, and I didn't want that to be the first one. So I didn't knit during any of that, but it was hard, and it's just something that stuck with me for a little bit. But since then, I'm back home, back into the swing of things, back into the groove of everything, and it's just been stressful. It's not been a direct hit amongst my family of 4, just drama with family who, for good reason, I haven't talked to in a while, and then, yeah, it's just devolved, but it's all good. It's all good. It's going to be good. And that's what kept me away. Also, I had a really good comment on my last YouTube episode about my knitting organization that's back here, about I should film it when I go to organize it, and I think that's a great idea. I cannot wait to do that, make it into a vlog, and hopefully have it organized soon. I like having it up like this because, you know, the handles and stuff like that, but this is the top of the shelf down that white part right there. That's actually like the top part of the shelf. So I don't know if I should tilt them forward so that you can see inside of it or not. I mean, this one over here holds the bottom part of my Swift. It holds my ball winder. It holds my sock blockers, holds yarn. This one's filled with nothing but yarn. This one's filled with project bags. Like, they're just stuffed. And a part of me wants to like lay them forward, and another part of me is like, no, don't show the mess. I'm curious to see what I do with that organization video. I do have one of the cubes at the very bottom. It's what holds my camera and my notebooks and my scale and everything for when I am done podcasting and I don't need to use those on a daily basis. And so those are in the bottom, and I could probably reorganize it to get a lot more use out of the empty space. So we shall see. It is going to be a work in progress, and it'll probably happen next weekend when the husband can take the kids and leave the house. That's my favorite. That's my favorite, is when he takes the kids and takes them to a park, or takes them to a friend's house for a play date and just spends a few hours with them and gives me solitude. And 9 times out of 10, I do absolutely nothing during that solitude. Mom guilt absolutely kills me and says that I need to do the laundry and the dishes and the dusting and the vacuuming and the sweeping and the disinfecting and the Lysoling. And then the crafting side of me is just like, you do that anyway. So yeah, I sit down. I sit on my butt and I have a drink and I have my yarn and I do something with it. And I enjoy my actual peace and quiet, so that when the week rolls up or the weekend rolls up or whatever time frame we're looking at, I can still be a good mom. And being a parent is hard. I don't care who says what. Being a parent is hard, and you need to utilize the free time when you get it. And so do it. Do it when you can. All the time. Do it all the time. But yeah, that is it for life stuff. We have 1 month left of school. Actually, I think we have like 1 month and 1 week left of school. We are out the week. So Memorial Day is like May 27th, I want to say. We are out Memorial Day, but then we go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That follows Memorial Day. So yeah, we'll be done by the end of May, which is super exciting. And we are going to teach my daughter to rollerblade this summer and to ride her bike with no training wheels. We're also going to teach my son to ride his bike with no training wheels. We're just going to knock that out. And then we are going to spend it with as many friends as we can, because childhood is fleeting. And before I know it, she will be graduating high school. I mean, so will he, but he's younger than her. But there's something about your first baby getting ready to graduate that just breaks your heart. And my kid isn't even there yet, but just the thought of it, it breaks my heart. If you have a kid getting ready to graduate high school, my sympathies to you, because it's probably the best and worst, because it's such a big moment in both of your lives. So yeah. But I think I'm going to get off of here because my camera has stopped twice now. Once because the memory card was full, once because I recorded for too long, and then also because of the multiple interruptions by my little boy, who, if you have watched this long, the blooper reel will be at the end. He will be at the end of the video, and that's it. Like and subscribe to the channel if you would like to. We are growing in our numbers, and I will look at those and see when I want to do another giveaway soon, but stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful time with your crafting, and I will talk to you later. Bye. That's what we have. Hold on.
Mom, go to bed.
Do what?
I said go to bed.
I am filming my podcast right now, buddy. You need to go to bed. Did you wake up?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you go back to sleep?
No.
Why not?
Like, I'm so scared on the dark.
You're scared of the dark?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is the nightlight on?
No.
No. Do I need to come turn the nightlight on? Okay. Sit down and Mommy will come up in just a minute, okay? Sit down and wait on me? No. Lord have mercy. Okay, so.
I can't see. I can't see me.
You're not supposed to. Be quiet. So yeah. That is it for my whips. My 3 whips. My 1 FO. Then let's jump into...
Can I see it?
No, you need to go to bed.
Ah.
You're so cute, but you need to go to bed. You have a fuzzy in your hair. Okay, go. Go. Let me finish this, okay? And we'll cuddle, okay? Go now. Go. Go sit down.
But I want to take a picture.
I'll take a picture at the end, okay? Go sit down.